Welcome to the Week 12 review. We just finished the last week of the regular season, so that means this week we got playoffs. So let's look at some stuff in Week 12, things to keep in mind as we head into the playoffs. Alright, watch the top of the screen. You see that runner coming on. Let me back it up. You see he's running on the field. He's inside the numbers. He's set for a second. And then we're going to have the pass. This was not called on the field, and there's nothing to call. It cannot be illegal participation because he is inside the numbers at the snap. You cannot have illegal shift because he's set for a second. Illegal formation, possibly. That's kind of a stretch though, because he was not inside the numbers when they broke the huddle. But as the rule is written in high school, honestly, this is legal play. Unless you think they're doing it on purpose, as a trick play, then maybe you could pop them with illegal formation. We want to be by the book on trick plays, but truth be told, this is probably just a player who didn't know he was supposed to be on the field. If that's the case, then you really have nothing to go on here. So it's a cheap play, but nonetheless a legal play. Because, there's no rule you can apply here. Again, you can't apply illegal participation. You cannot apply illegal shift. You can't apply illegal formation. That's not a legal sub either. So there's no rule to apply here. Alright, on this play, we call hurdling on this runner right here. Alright, now, in high school, for a hurdle, it needs to be the rule book. It is Rule 222. It specifically states a foot or knee foremost over the opponent, and we do not have that here. There's a knee slightly forward, but that's not foremost. Foremost has got to be out there. You want to think a track athlete hurdling over some high hurdles. That's what you want in order to call hurdling on a runner. Here we don't have that. This is really what you want. The only time you would call hurdling on the runner is if they had that. You can see the foot. That is what we would consider foremost over a defender. It's out there in front. This is big. Everyone in the stands can see it. This is not a knee or foot foremost. That is a little in front, but that does not meet the definition of foremost. So that's legal. Don't call that in a game. We want it big. Again, you want it looking something like that. That would be a hurdling in high school. All right, let's look at some pass penalties. Here you would have defensive holding. We're looking right here. Quarterback still has the ball in his hand, and you can see there's contact. He hooks him around the waist or the side, and it pulls up his route just long enough. If he doesn't get held up like that, you see how close the pass is. So if he doesn't get held up like that, chances are he makes this pass. So ball still in the quarterback's hand when the contact occurs, so this will meet the qualifications of a hold, not defensive pass interference. And I think it's definitely there, and you can see it impedes his route, and that's all it's got to do. If it impedes his route, and you see the situation, the quarterback's on that side, he's looking that way. Now, if this hold happens all the way over here with the quarterback running this way, we pass on it. But the quarterback's rolling to this side. He's got two eligible receivers he's looking at, and the hold happens on one of them. So, that's just enough. That's all you need to meet the definitions of defensive holding. Alright, this one, they pass on defensive pass interference, and I agree with this call. I agree with passing on it. Because what I see here, unless, the angle's far away, but what I see here is just defender trips up. So right there. Obviously, home team wants DPI, But I mean, we watch it here in slow motion. I think he just trips up. I mean, it looks like an awkward. I could see where they can make the case where he's doing it on purpose. And honestly, truth be told, it's not a bad foul if you're intentionally trying to commit DPI here, especially at high school. You don't have automatic first down. Well, looking at the stakes, this would probably be a first down. But again, time. I think this is one of the last couple of plays of the game. It's not a bad foul if it's on purpose, so you do want to have that on your radar if he's doing this on purpose. But to me, it looks like the feet just tangle. I don't see anything egregious there. And again, like with the hurdling, you want this call to be big, especially late in the game, tight game. All calls need to be big. And let's be honest, in the playoffs, all calls need to be big anyway. So I actually don't see this as a foul. I see this as feet got tangled up. There were flags thrown for unsportsmanlike. I hadn't seen the foul report or talked to these officials, so I don't know what the flags were for. This player does do some weird celebration. Maybe it was him. Maybe receiver said something to him. I don't know. But like I said, I don't see a foul here for DPI. I just see feet tangled. Same thing here. They wanted a foul for offensive pass interference. I can see the argument, but again, I see tangling of feet. Both are looking back. It's overthrown. I mean, to me, it looks like he just tangles his feet. I mean, he wraps his arm a little bit, but he's also close. I said they wanted offensive pass interference. I don't see it. I see feet get tangled, and if it would fall into a category, preventing the defender from getting to the ball. If it were on purpose, I don't think it is. I think there's enough doubt there to where you would pass on it correctly and just say their feet got tangled. Here's be a example of offensive pass interference. You can see the push off. I know we don't see the hands. Only the field judge can see that, but we can kind of use some deductive reasoning here. You see the defender closing in, and then he unnaturally gets some separation. Alright, there's only one way that separation would occur, and that's if he was pushing the chest, which you can kind of see it there. So that would be offensive pass interference. You want a kind of deliberate act to where he pushes off. Alright, here we're going to have targeting on a kicker. They got the block, and then he's just going to lower his head. And that should be targeting. The only official in the field who could probably see that is a referee. I don't think anyone else is going to be looking there. But I can see where the referee was probably distracted by the block. There's a lot going on there. But you can see the defender lowers his head, makes clear contact to the kicker's head. This would be targeting. It does not rise to a level of ejection, in my opinion. I don't think it's so severe that it puts the player in jeopardy of any kind of serious injury. You see, he's fine. He looks fine. But I do not think it rises to a level of ejection. If you were to eject on this, I think we could back you up on it. But I just don't think it rises to the level. But it's definitely targeting that we should have picked up. Alright, here, at first this is going to look like, maybe a weak foul for blocking the back, but it's definitely a foul for blocking the back. You don't have to have much. We don't have to have these hard shoves in the back. You just have to have an unfair advantage created, which is what we have here. He makes contact in the back, and it displaces this defender in a manner to which he can't make this tackle. So to me, this would be a block in the back, and I think it's completely within the rules. There's contact in the back. It displaces the defender unfairly where he can't make that tackle. It was called. I think it's a great call and correct call. These blocking the back, they don't have to be blow up hard hits. It just has to be an unfair displacement. from the back. Alright, this is a weird one. The ruling on the field here was fumble, recovered by a home team. Crew got together and reversed it, came up with an incomplete pass, which is the correct call. However, then the question comes in, if you're going to have an incomplete pass, is this intentional grounding? And the ruling on the field was no, it was not intentional grounding. So, let's go back and look at all our eligible receivers. So we got 5 eligible receivers and 4 go downfield. So now we're left with just the 1. He's the only eligible receiver in this area. And he comes back to kind of help his quarterback. Like I said, we definitely have an incomplete pass. So you can see the deliberate forward motion of the hand. So the question you have to ask yourself for intentional grounding, was this a deliberate act to conserve yardage and time? Another factor that comes in is quarterback being hit as this ball is released. So these are all judgment calls. That's why we get paid. We get paid to make judgment calls like this. We don't get paid for the false starts that everyone can see. We don't get paid for those. We get paid for these judgment calls. So we have to get them right. All right. Georgia officials, you're one of the highest paid in the whole country. We need to have good judgment. We need to be able to justify our game fees. And this is a tough one. I've shared this with several officials across the country, working different levels, and all the feedback is mixed. A lot say intentional grounding, a lot say no. My personal opinion, I think this should be intentional grounding. I think he's purposely just trying to get rid of this pass. One of the reasons given for non-intentional grounding is he was being hit as he threw it, which obviously alters the trajectory of the pass. But for me, looking at this, I don't think he's trying to throw it anywhere near this receiver. I think he's just trying to get rid of the ball. And I know you guys and my bosses don't like me saying this could be this, could be that. I know you guys like definitive, this should be called. In this play, and I'm giving you in this play, this my opinion, I think this should be intentional grounding. But like I said, I've shared this across the country. Reviews are mixed. But you want to be thinking, is he deliberately just trying to ditch this ball to conserve yardage? And honestly, let's see, he's in the end zone, so if you call intentional grounding here, it's a safety. And that's something you need to factor in too. He knows he's in the end zone. And he knows what a sack here means. So, what is he doing? He's just trying to ditch the ball. So, this is all things you kind of factor in. And it's tough. This is all in the white hat. I think he's the only one that can make this call. And he's got a lot going on in this play. There's a lot going on. So, it's a tough call to make under duress. But we got to come up with something. And of course, it's easier for us to look back. And that's why we have these video reviews. So we can look back a few days later, more relaxed, more clear, and say, okay, this is what we should have called in this situation. But under the gun, this is a tough call. And like I said, we completely back it up, saying he was hit. I just personally think it's intentional grounding. Okay, moving on. Alright, I've seen this 2 or 3 times in JV games this year. Never seen a varsity game, and I'm glad it came across my desk because I've seen it enforced 2 different ways. So punter bobbles it. He's got his back against the goal line. He just kicks it out of the back of the end zone. This is correctly flagged. That is illegal kicking. The options here, they take the result of the play, which is a safety, or they can do a replay of the 4th down minus 15 yards, which here would be half the distance. 9 times out of 10, the team's going to take the safety. I can't think of many situations where they would not. But kicked out the back of the end zone, it is a safety. And in case anyone asks, no, that is not 3 points. So it's 2 points for the safety, kicking out the back of the end zone. Or they can, or if they want, replay the 4th down minus 15 yards. But I don't see why they would take that option. Let's look at the left tackle. Block below the waist is what we're thinking. And I think you gotta have block below the waist there. Oh, looks like they called it. Good job. He's got to go immediately down. So he comes up, then he goes down. That's a delay. All right, quarterback's in shotgun. That delay is all you need, is enough to make this a foul. It's got to be immediate. That delay hurts him. Let's look at the safety coming up. He's going to block below the waist. Takes out that lead blocker. Does it have much of an impact on the play? No. Is it a safety foul? Yes. So let's make sure we're calling that. The question here is going to be who has this call. In a crew of 6, you're kind of spread out here. Crew of 7, the bad judge takes this easily. But crew of 6, is hard. I don't know who sees that, to be honest with you. It may be in a dead area. All right, good job here, the crew. Late game situation. Good job by the umpire. He's got the spot. He's got the call. Good job there. He's going to place the ball. We got a 1st down. He's going to stand there with the ball. Make sure the box is set. Waiting. There's the box. He's off. I believe at this point, from what I was told, there's 2.7 seconds left. That's enough time to get the snap off for a spike. Remember, you got 2 seconds. You got to have more than 2 seconds. 2 seconds or more to legally get a ball off for a spike. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're at 2.7 seconds. This is legal. I've slowed this down. This nose guard, just good job. He's going to blow it up. The quarterback does not get a chance to snap it. That is, or spike it. That's a fumble. Correctly ruled. Obviously, the clock's still rolling. The ball game ends this way. Good job by the crew there. Like he's standing over the ball. Everything the crew did here is good. It's perfectly legal. Like I said, I've slowed this down 15 times, and it looks completely legit. Just good job by the nose guard. Quick thinking, quick movements, and good job by the crew. This one's close to a late hit out of bounds. Yeah, close to a late hit out of bounds. I think you should flag it. The runner's engaged by the defender. He's been driven out of bounds. All intents and purposes, this play is over. And that's it's not much, but it's a little extra and it's unnecessary. You want to go ahead and flag this because you don't want this later becoming an issue. And it just meets all the qualifications of the rule. So should flag that for late hit. It doesn't, it's not one of those blow ups, but it still meets all qualifications of the rule. This one here, good job of ruling this is forward progress and keeping the clock hot. Especially when we go to tight angle, you can see his progress is stopped here, and he's just kind of driven out of bounds. So good job keeping that clock rolling. It's where the forward progress is stopped, and you see it's stopped before he gets it out of bounds. So that would be a good job keeping that clock rolling. All right, that's it for this week. Good luck this week, guys. First round of the playoffs. Stay warm, stay safe, and stay focused.